welcome to all my beautiful collectives. This is your girl Ora-gen with the Ora-gen channel, and I'm welcoming you to another reading this evening. Well, late afternoon, early evening, but I wanted to do a video today on the topic of energetic or spiritual attack. And I know, like, for some people this topic might seem like a bit woo-woo or it's not a real thing, but if you are a person that is sensitive to energies, and we know everything is composed of energy in this existence, even solid matter is composed of things going down to a cellular structure. It's just a matter of how quickly or how slowly the molecules are moving as to whether you can put your hand through it or your hand will be repelled by it. So since everything breaks down to an energy level, and they're even talking about like the fact that everything is truly connecting, like the whole idea of space being between an item and an item, or an object is actually illusory based off of our sensory perception. You know, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. All of those things help us to perceive a certain quality or qualia of experience. But that in fact, outside of that, everything really is connected. And we do see this, right? When we go to the grocery store or when we go out in the street, we might notice that there's a person that we do a double take at, and they're doing it at the same time. We might notice that we think of a friend or family member, and then they give us a call. Or we might be thinking of somebody, and then they reach out to us and say, hey, you know, you kind of crossed my mind today. So we could look at these things as flukes, or maybe it just so happened type occurrences, or we could see them from an energy-based perspective as a connection of energies. So I just wanted to place that information there in case you're new to this topic, and you're kind of wondering, like, why this title having to do with energy or spiritual attacks. And so the term spirit really kind of coming from, once again, I talked with you guys a little bit about the psyche, or that Greek root word that we even use in psychology, psychiatrics. All of these terms have that root word psyche in it. And in the Greek, that root word is spirit. And you can go ahead and look that up for yourself. You can find that easily on Google. So even psychology has to do with the study of a person's spirit, what's happening with them on some energetic level, and how that is like affecting their mind, their behavior. And this is not to say, once again, that there aren't biological factors with mental health and wellness. That is what I do for a career. So definitely there are biological or physiological factors, but there's also a mental factor here, and really examining like what that energy is. So if we're talking about it from a medical standpoint, this discussion would go a little different. But today, based off of what this channel is about, we're talking about it from an energy-based standpoint. So I want to preface this video with making sure to mention that it is super important that if you feel like you are experiencing, you know, SI or suicidal ideation, or anything like that, and hopefully I don't get my video flagged for saying that, but basically if you are experiencing any kind of major trauma, or something major coming up for you emotionally, you should definitely seek assistance or help. If you are experiencing something like that, you can call for help, and also drive yourself to the nearest hospital, call a friend for assistance, or call for help or assistance, okay? So first of all, I want to preface it with that. It's super important that we take care of our mental health and wellness. This video today, though, is not about mental health and wellness. This video is speaking about energy-based I'm using the word attacks, but really it just feels like an attack because somebody is sending energy or something your direction that you can feel. You can sense that it's there. You may not know exactly where it's coming from. And then there's the aspect of spiritual attacks where somebody is like actively utilizing some form of energy work or something in a negative or toxic way to try to create problems or issues for you, to try to be controlling, to try to take away your right and your ability to engage with your agency. There are lots of ways that people can use energy in this way. And if you don't believe me, you can just do some research into different cultures that deal with this more frequently, maybe than we do or than we acknowledge here in the US about this topic. And you'll see that it's a very commonly had discussion about spiritual or energy attacks. Or we can call it unwanted energy being unwanted energy being sent your way. Okay, so definitely there has been an energy out here in general. We're definitely in a shift, a timeline shift. People are becoming more conscious, more aware that these things can happen and maybe even have their own personal experiences. I actually had a client who went to an event and said that they felt funny after leaving the event. And, you know, this wasn't a person who, you know, maybe consistently has discussions like this. And they came out and said to me, you know, I most certainly am aware that I was under direct spiritual attack. And I was like, wow. So even a person who may not be fluid with language like this might find that they experience this at least once in their life, where they're very sure that something was being sent their way that was definitely like negative, toxic, a hindrance, created issues or problems for them. Unfortunately, in some like religious circles or things like that, they don't really talk about things like this. I know growing up around the church, I never heard things like this, not to this extent, that it could be this specific or that somebody could send something right at you. And of course, having grown up in American culture and being around the church, there wasn't like discussion about other indigenous peoples or groups that understand this topic even more thoroughly, because it's information that they talk about and share regularly. It was not something that was covered, so it was something that I found out about later, just talking about my own personal experience. So as I personally started to change the way that I went at my spirituality and opening my mind to seeing things from different perspectives and taking in new information that wasn't just based off of like what was being said in the church, I was able to learn a lot more about this topic. So if you're a person that's in that position, I really encourage you today, even if you had like a really negative experience with any topic that has the root word spirit in it growing up, I encourage you to just try it and open your mind a little bit today for this reading, because I am not endorsing any religion, particular religion or anything like that. I am talking with you about the term, like the energy, the life force that runs your body and how that can be affected by the energy that others send towards you, the energy that's around your body, inside your body, your chakral system, all of those things. That's what I'm referring to. So apologies if that term spiritual is a little bit triggering for some, but I definitely want to handle this in an authentic way. I know that I won't be able to use wording that feels good for everybody here, but I have to like share it in the way that my guides are expressing it to me, so that way I can help as many people as possible. Okay, we have to spend a lot of time like trying to find the right wording. So with that being said, let's go on ahead and clear the space. I pulled 2 decks today that I want to utilize for the reading. Excuse me, let me grab my water real quick. Okay, so I grabbed 2 decks that I want to use. And what's interesting, I did a pre-shuffle on these, or a pre-pull. And so I want to see if some of those same energies come back out again, because they jumped right out. Because I was trying to ask some questions about, okay, you know, Spirit, tell me about like who's might be sending this energy to members in the collective. Like, what is this about? So I could have a better understanding of what was happening here. So some really interesting cards came out in the preliminary pull. So we'll see if those energies are still present. So I have What's the Vibe? And as always, I'll list the card decks in the description in case you want to purchase them. And then I also have the Yes and No When and How deck to ask some questions about like some really awesome stuff coming the collective's way. Like, I'm talking about people hitting new levels with their goals, and even having like successes come in that were completely unexpected, that are phenomenal. There was some really powerful energy there. So I want to make sure that, you know, we talk about potential timelines or some information that can help us to know like maybe when some opportunities are coming. Okay, so let's go on ahead and clear the space. I'm going to go on ahead and light some lovely Palo Santo. I have a kind of used stick. I'm going to use this new stick here. It's a little bit easier to light. And once again, I encourage you all definitely, you know, if you're new to, you know, the practice of cleaning and clearing your energy, which is a real thing. Your energy is real, you know. Be sure to, you know, grab yourself something that helps you to feel like connected. You know, for some people, that is like Palo Santo, sage, crystals, things like that. But you know, there's nothing wrong if that doesn't work for you. Like, that's not your jam. That's okay. It could just be saying a prayer. Once again, not trying to trigger anybody, but prayer is a real thing, and you don't have to do it the way you learned in the church. Try to connect with the universe, your higher self, or source in a way that feels connective for you. Otherwise, there isn't really a benefit to doing it. If you ask me, if you don't feel connected with the practice, find a way to connect with it that works for you. I don't know, go outside, ground out, spend some time with close friends or family, clean your house and sage. I'm going to post about a really good practice that you can use for cleaning and saging in your home. There's lots of ways to clear your energy out. And sometimes it's just taking 5 to 10 minutes and just sitting quietly. That can be the most difficult thing to do sometimes, because we're left with our thoughts, or maybe what's going on, what's troubling us, and we're trying to avoid it. So we don't want to sit with ourselves. Please remember that you are the person that will explore this whole journey with you. Like, is you. This whole time that you're here on this planet, it will be with yourself. So learning how to sit with yourself, or meditation, however you want to call it, name it, word it, can be super helpful with this healing process. So just another thought there. If I have not mentioned already, welcome. You know, I pray that your day, your evening, your afternoon, whatever time of day it is that you are seeing this video is going well, that you are feeling high vibrational. If not, it's okay. I'm glad you're here. We can talk about some things you can do to help yourself to feel better. I hope that whenever you find this video, it's right in alignment for you, and the things that will help you to move towards your goals and feel more connected with what it is you're here to do, your personal soul contracts. I'm also hoping that the information in this reading will be beneficial and helpful for you. I do have to mention that this is a general collective reading, or I do want to mention. I don't have to, but I want to, because I want you to be clear that this is not a personal reading. Every message will not be your message. Every message will not resonate for you. So if for some reason this message doesn't resonate, it's okay. You can just hang out for the story and see if the next one does. You can also like, share, and subscribe. Those are energetic forms of gratitude that can help us to kind of keep the energy moving around, so that way if other people need to hear this message, they're more likely to find it the more subscribes, likes, and shares that we have. Definitely feel free to do that. So let's go on ahead and get into the reading here today. I'm going to be ringing my meditation bell. So if you are a sound sensitive person, you may want to turn your volume on your device down now. Okay, here we go. Perfect. And once again, I want to take a moment to welcome you. My name is Ora-gen. This is the Ora-gen channel here on YouTube. And I'm just sharing messages with the collective that are timely. These are general readings. And also, please once again know that if you are experiencing any mental health issues or concerns that you feel like might be medically based, please seek help from a professional, okay? So let's start with the What's the Vibe deck and kind of see what the energy is on the energetic streets here. Once again, the decks have been charged and pre-shuffled. So we're just gonna set this guy here and just kind of see what the energy is today. Oh boy. Yeah, it's the same energy popping up. We have epiphany, self-reflection, answer questions, untapped talents. That is in reverse. Let me hold it right side up for you. And we have narcissist, egotistical, opportunist, and fragile. This is the narcissist card. Let me see if I can turn this around so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. So that's the first energy popping up. Somebody's come to the conclusion that someone is not a narcissist, because that was also in reverse. I think somebody had the wrong idea about somebody. That's what I think. You know, people do all kinds of things for all kinds of reasons. They might be thinking that they're having an issue with somebody, or that they're not liking somebody, maybe based off of what they've heard, or maybe there's a root feeling or emotion coming up within themselves because of something that the person possesses, like spiritually, emotionally, or something, and they're feeling in lack or in wanting of that thing that person has, and so it moves them to behave in a strange manner towards the person. In other words, we call that jealousy. Yeah. So the next energy coming up, it's not funny at all. This one says psychopath, abusive, conniving, unpredictable. Is there someone in your energy that you feel is behaving in a really erratic manner, or an unstable manner? And that this person is aiming energy at you? I don't know. This is a very similar energy to what came up earlier. Yeah, this same person, I'm getting something about them being two-faced, having a dual or double life, being a cheater or a backstabber. And as you can see, I'm just shuffling the cards and just busting the deck open and then just having a look based off of like the query that's on the table or the question that's on the table. The cards are just showing me some energy. Yeah, but Archangel Michael is here. Protection, prevent it from harm, divine intervention. And there's healing. Healing and self-care for the collectives. So there is protection here, regardless of what's happening with this person, these people, however this relates to you. Once again, apply the roles where they fit. He can be a she could be a he. I'm just speaking about energies. If I mention like an energy like masculine or feminine. It's not indicative of their gender or the way that they view their gender. Okay, it's just speaking about the energies here. Okay, Spirit, I'm going to split the deck and take the bottom card. Yeah, look at this here. Lack of trust. Look at that. Burned bridges, disloyal, turned back on. So it looks like somebody has burned some bridges with you and does not feel like they can just approach you in a normal manner for some reason. And by normal, I mean like typically when we want to be in somebody's space or deal with them, we will approach them or ask to spend time with them or give them a shout out, give them a call, shoot them a text. But for some reason, this person does not feel like comfortable doing that. They feel like they burned a bridge with you. And maybe the lack of trust, the disloyal and turned back on might be like how they believe you feel about them. And so they're not feeling comfortable coming towards you. I'm not sure what happened there in the... I'm getting a friendship. And you know, relationships cover all span of interactions. A relationship just means that it's, you know, you're engaging with someone or something else on a consistent manner and the way that you energetically engage with them. So this could be a friend, this could be a past person, or I'm hearing lover, somebody that you dealt with that you are maybe not presently dealing with. And so you're not even thinking about them being a problem. They're just, it's just not even, as a matter of fact, even if you felt kind of like funky recently, like had problems with sleep, shortness of breath. Once again, if you're having these symptoms and you might be experiencing a medical issue, please seek professional help. But, you know, there might be some physical symptoms associated with like spiritual attack or energy attack that you are feeling and are not sure what that is or where it's coming from. Could be having to do with a situation with a person or people, I'm hearing. And remember, this is a collective read, so, you know, it's possible that parts of this apply to you and parts apply to someone else. Just the general energy I'm picking up. Ooh, okay. Are you having maybe issues with someone in your family? Blood ties, inner circle? Somebody maybe you were close to that you're having issues with, or that they have an issue with you, and maybe they're kind of sending some energy your way. And once again, I want to put a note on this. Just because somebody is sending energy your way and it's affecting you because you're sensitive to it does not mean that they are fully aware of what they're doing. It could be that a person is just centering in on you a lot and thinking about you a lot, or kind of like feeling some kind of way towards you. And anytime we constantly revolve around a thought with a person, that is a form of energy work, whether a person wants to admit it or not. No, I don't do that. But if you do those things in that form, it is a form of energy work. And it's a toxic form of energy work, unless the thoughts that you're having about that person are helpful or positive. Just constantly sitting there in a synergy of just like anger and angst and jealousy around a person can be very toxic energy to place yourself in and to send to someone else. So I just want to make a note on that. You could be engaging in toxic energy work or spiritual attack and not even fully be aware that that's what you're doing. So we need to be mindful of our thoughts and how we use our energy. So it could be a family member or close friend or inner circle person. This one came up, trapped. I don't know if this is you feeling trapped. Do you feel like what's happening is creating an energy of feeling stuck? No options, unforgiveness. Maybe you wanted to speak with this person and to improve the relationship, and that's not happening at this time. Maybe you're having thoughts about how to repair the relationship, or if the person approached you and entered your space energetically again, you might be willing to talk things out, but this person maybe doesn't have the same energy that you do. I mentioned in a read, maybe a read or two ago, I can't remember which one it was, an energy is somebody wanting to come back in for somebody, like a past person that you distance yourself from and stop dealing with, that wants to come back and engage with some sort of discussion, but that they're not or may not be fully healed, and that there was some puppeteer or marionette strings. I think the card said something like that. It was a controlling energy. I think it was in the archetypes deck. And that controlling energy basically is frustrated because they're no longer able to control you because of the way you've grown, because of the way you've expanded in your thought, or maybe you're just more open to looking at things a different way. So this has made you less easy to manipulate and control, especially if you were in like a narcissistic exchange with someone, like you're dealing with narcissistic abuse or something like that. It could be that this is the way you used to look to them, and you're not that person anymore. So once again, be careful about the energies approaching you, and making sure that people are sincere about their energies and what they want when they're coming around again, especially if you left off with something because it was toxic. You want to make sure people are fully healed. And the best thing I can tell you about that is give them time. Don't throw them the whole trust, compartment all at once. They may not be ready for that. Give them time to prove that they're actually healed and safe to bring back into your space in that way. And if not, don't do it. And if you're not even sure about whether they are or aren't, just don't put them in that position. Deal with them in a way that is appropriate for where they're at, not in a way where you're putting yourself at risk once again. So I have love affair intention. I'll share these cards with you. So once again, this might be a person that you were dealing with in an intimate relationship from the past. I don't know what happened there, if there was a third party involved in the situation. Maybe that was the reason why you backed off from the relationship. I don't know. But there's something here about them stepping outside of the bounds energetically of that relationship in a way that felt okay for you. This is why I keep putting this warning out here about being safe. And then there's tension, stressed out, migraines, worry. This might have been how you were feeling when you were in this relationship, or this could be this person, how they're feeling trying to approach you, or thinking about how their life is now without you in it. They may not be feeling very good about it, and they see you over there and you seem to be healed and doing better. They may want to approach. But if the relationship ended because something happened that was outside of the bounds of like what was acceptable for honoring the space in the relationship, you want to really think twice about letting somebody like that back in. Okay. Okay, let's just get a few more cards on this here. So just thoughts about how this could tie into, spiritual or energetic attack or sending bad energy someone's way. And you're blocking it. You're like, nope, I don't think so. Moved on, nothing to say, stop calling. That's where you're at. You stopped talking to this person a long time ago, or at least a while ago. They're not even a thought presently on your mind. This person has started thinking about you again, or they never stopped. And you're not suffering in silence about it. That time has ended. You've moved on. see what kind of energy we get here. Spirit, let's get some more information on this person, on like what they're doing. Like why are they sending energy at the collective at this time? Anything else? Okay, antisocial. In your feelings, silent treatment, left out. Who knows? Maybe they've been kind of like to themselves or isolated. This could be you too. You know, maybe some of the things that you went through were just like really difficult for you and you're just taking a break right now. You know, maybe you're not feeling left out. Maybe you're just feeling like I need to have some space of my own to heal. This could also be this person and why they're now approaching you again, because, you know, they've been just to themselves and not really engaging with others. And they, you know, thought about the relationship with you and they want to come back that way to see if that door is still open. Either way, I will be really careful about that. To me, this energy is giving me more of like you, once again, you blocked them, you're done. I have no interest in dealing with you. Like, even look at the expression on the person's face. They're over it. They're not even looking in the direction of the person. They're just like, listen, I'm done here. I don't have anything for you. So it could be that this is your energy here kind of towards this person. Looks like you are over it. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if anything comes out this way. Spirit, can you get like a few more cards on this topic just to see if there's anything else here? I see where collective is at with this person. It looks like the person throwing energy at you is somebody you know. That's what it looks like. You're not very bothered about it. You can just tell when they're throwing that energy at you, but you're not bothered about it at all. Yeah. You're trying to enjoy your life. Oh, what do we have here? That's a lot of cards, Spirit. I'll take them. Oh, yeah. Yeah, these cards are right on point here. Okay. Yeah. You're looking for intimacy or interaction with others that has like mutual respect, unity, and closeness. You're not trying to engage with that toxicity any longer. Yes, you do have karmics who have third parties. There's haters. There's going to be hard lessons learned by these people. But it doesn't matter because you're cutting ties. You're utilizing your freedom, standing up, awakening. You're aware of the things that they did to you in the past, and you wouldn't fall for that again because you know better now. You know more about what you want and what you're not going to allow in your space. And while you're hopeful, inspired, optimistic, and full of success because you've cut ties with this negativity, regardless of them trying to throw energy your way, it doesn't matter. You're still going and doing what you need to do. They are in chaos about it. Upheaval, disaster, and downfall. They don't know how to deal with the fact that you won't take them back. This card popped up before in relation to this energy. I don't know why this person won't just go sit down somewhere and cut it out. It is ridiculous. Nobody has to deal with that foolishness. And it looks like, yeah, they're really involved with the nightlife here. Like they're trying to distract themselves. That's how they've been since they left your space. They're feeling really hurt about the fact that you won't take them back. They're envious of and resentful, competitive. There's a level of discontentment there. That's part of why they're sending the energy at you, because you won't deal with them and they see you leveling up and you won't be bothered with that. They are not in a state of harmony. They're missing their balance, their peace, their happiness. They're not healing right now. And here's the card on drowning. This is what you all are not doing any longer. This is in reverse. This is your energy. You're healing. They are not. So this is them in reverse, healing and balance. Drowning, you're definitely not doing that. If anything, you are taking time to really focus on what it is you want to experience and angling yourself towards those experiences more, not this other stuff. These things that they're involved in aren't even in alignment with your frequency at this time. You're focused on you and how to help yourself, not giving your energy out to everyone who asks for it, but really focusing in on yourself. Yeah, there's some rumors and some gossip around the situation. I don't know if there's third parties involved in like some of this energy that's being sent around, either people who are outside of the scenario or people associated with the scenario, like your actual other person. Not sure exactly who's sending the energy, but it seems most likely that it's your person sending the energy because you won't deal with them. They thought you were their soulmate. They're a soulmate in reverse. A person that loves you is not going to treat you like that. Period. If you're feeling like you can't trust the person, you're scared to be yourself, speak your mind, whatever, this is not a soulmate. Or this is a relationship that needs a lot of work. Your soulmate should be somebody you have that instant connection with and feel safe with and can be yourself with that person. That's who your soulmate is. Now, this isn't to say a person can't like heal. It's so funny because this kind of turned into a relationship reading. I really wasn't expecting that. But that's the energy that's coming out here. Yes, a person can heal and decide to change or shift. Can even awaken. Of course, we've all done that. At one point we weren't, and at one point we were. Or are working on that, whatever it is. So that's not to say that. What I'm talking about is relationships that are abusive, codependent, narcissistic, energies that are limiting and harmful. That, if nothing else, in that state cannot be a soulmate kind of partnership. These things have to be healed before it can be that. Okay. So, yeah, they're feeling kind of low energy. They're isolated. They're feeling blocked. They're looking at you glow up. They have a longing to come see you. They've got issues with boundaries. I don't know if this is ringing a bell for anybody in your life that maybe kind of removed from your space, but looks like that's the person who's sending you the energy. Okay. Well, let's move this out the way. So let's ask another question. We're going to take this energy down here because we get the idea. We see who this is. And if this isn't a ex-partner or person that you dealt with, then it could be somebody that you did business with, a friendship maybe that ended kind of like out of the blue, like you just lost touch with them and you're not even really sure why. That's because you weren't vibrating. Or there was some energy they were holding towards you that you were not aware of. So, you know, it's probably for the best that things just kind of fizzled out. So just, you know, keep that in mind. If there are people where you're not really sure why, you just all of a sudden started feeling like an energy of, I'm not sure if this is resonating for me. You know, if you go look them up again, you know, be careful about that. Once again, you want to make sure that the person is healed before allowing them to come back into your space. We're going to talk before I end the video about things that you can do to help clear out your energy if you do feel that someone is sending energy at you intentionally or unintentionally that is toxic or negative, okay? So we're going to do the yes, no, when, and how deck. So Spirit, we're hearing that there is some really amazing things coming in for the collective right now. So let's talk about when we can start to see some of those wonderful, like, glow up and, you know, some of these like beneficial life path processes, opportunities, maybe new careers, doing more of what you love, resolution to some issues that have been on the table for a while, whatever it might be. There's some really phenomenal energy coming in. Travel, meeting soul tribe or people that you feel have like frequencies or vibrations that you enjoy being around, that are a building. They don't tear you down. You don't leave their space and have a headache or feel drained. I want to place a note on that too. If you're hanging out with somebody and every time you leave their space you feel drained or negative or toxic, you probably need to take note of what's happening in that relationship. Okay, so let's take a look at the yes no deck and see, you know, do we have some new energies coming in for those who are experiencing like some of this negativity being sent at them? And then we'll get into the when and how. If so, like, what are some timelines here that the collectives can start to notice a shift in some of this energy? Because also too, collective, there's definitely a thing out here happening right now. It has to do with, like, you know, the collectives being people who are awakening, who are trying to call people in a position of power to account for the things that they're doing. There are energies associated with some things happening like on the world scene that don't like people being aware of what's happening, connecting the dots, speaking up about it, speaking to others about it. And so there are oppressive energies trying to come back in and just kind of shut down the discussion. Let's not talk about it. You know, let's argue, you know, bringing in politics and things to kind of like polarize people, when really we're talking about human issues. Okay. So I think that there's also, like, on a general or global scale, there's issues with like people feeling an oppressive energy trying to, like, you know, basically tell them, just go back to sleep. You don't need to talk about that. Let us handle that type energy, instead of, you know, being an energy that is supportive of people awakening and being aware. Okay. So if you start to notice that as you are awakening and doing more research into things, like, there's energies around you that feel like suppressive or like they are a hindrance, that may not be a fluke. I mean, there's overall energy, and then there's specific energies that, you know, we as beings project. But when so many people are focused on something, it can definitely create an energy that others feel, like groups of people, large groups of people. And proof of that is they even did experiments, and these are documented experiments where people were focusing in on, like, groups who were meditating together, were focusing in on regions in the planet where there was issues, to see if by sending loving energy at it, they could help with the issue or help to resolve the matter. And they actually did notice, like, certain percentages of, you know, crime or issues associated with that region shifting when people would focus in on it. So there is something to this. And once again, if you're new to this whole process and you think all of this is just too far out, you know, do some research into the fact that, you know, the, you know, federal GV, you know, the federal G, you know, the people that run things have been doing research and studies for years on remote viewing, psychic abilities, and things like that. Why would they do that if all of this was false? Why would they bother with that? They're doing the research because they understand that it is real and that these things can happen. They want to understand more about it so they can understand, like, how to use it to their benefit. So my thing is, why just leave it for them to use? Why not tap into your own abilities and understand like what things are happening and why. If you have those abilities, why not? Go for it. Okay, Spirit, let's take the card on the bottom. Look at this, right off the cuff. Yes, new energy coming in, collective. This is wonderful. It says it's the beginning of a delightfully new cycle. Get ready for a deep emotional immersion into an amazing world. You may meet a mysterious stranger with an unusual talent who helps you speed up the completion of your plans. So we're getting an energy here that not only is that energy that you've been feeling shifting, but a lot of you are going to have help to bring in these new ideas that will assist with awakening work, assist people with understanding how to move forward, or just tap into the things that you're passionate about that can help change the energy. If each of us is doing something high vibrational to us, it changes the overall energy or vortex. The energy vortex begins to shift. Instead of negative energy being tossed in and apathy and disconnect being tossed into that vortex, now we have higher frequency energies being tossed into that vortex. We're going to have a different result come out at the top. So that energy is spinning from ground up all the way up. When we reach the top, we're seeing more of those high vibrational results when we start to throw in that good energy. How do we do it? We have to shift on an individual level. So yes, you matter. You are important. The fact that you care to tap into those aspects of yourself can make a big difference. Be the change you wish to see in the world. And there's some support and some help coming. So this is some good energy. I want to just set that guy right there. Okay. Or that card. Doesn't necessarily mean the card is a guy, but I want to set that card right there. So let's go on ahead and look at this next deck here. I don't know why I refer to my cards in the masculine. But energy is always a mixture of masculine and feminine. It's just the percentages are either higher or lower. We're just talking about energy here. Okay, so we're going to take the bottom card. What about how and when? When can the collectives expect to see some changes here? Let's take this guy. Okay, so it says, if yes, in 3 to 4 months, the bird of happiness lands in your hands. Plans are implemented. Desires are embodied. This requires you to be very active. However, your ability for action brings you an unexpected triumph. The bird of happiness doesn't fly to just anyone. So I don't know if you guys recall, if you watched one of my other readings from like last week, I think it was, I was talking about the importance of being active. So even though I mentioned in that reading, it is possible that you can manifest something while sitting completely still. A lot of times for bigger plans, goals, and things that we are trying to accomplish on this timeline, eventually will require some action on our part. Some step that we need to take, something we need to release, something we need to work at, something we need to improve, something we need to shift, something we need to pivot, something we need to do in order to see like a result in the 3D. Especially when it comes to like, maybe if you're trying to like grow a business or start a business from ground up, you have a unique, innovative idea and you're looking for people to sponsor that idea. I don't know, maybe you want to get a food truck and start a business because your joy is cooking. Well, you would need to start doing research into what it requires to have licensing in your area to have a food truck, right? So this is talking about engaging with that action. And it could be 3 to 4 months, honestly, depending on what you're doing. And then you meet a person, say, who's like, hey, I really like what you're doing. I'm doing this. And the two of you maybe work well together. I had picked that up in another reading that for some of us, working with others might be part of how we launch or get things off the ground. For some of us, it's just going to be working by ourselves until we start to meet more people who are in alignment energetically, right? Because maybe the people in your space presently at this time aren't exactly the right people to help you get this off the ground. And so, the universe is going to help you, and then you're going to meet some people along the way. I don't know. But the energy is really good. That could be by like late fall or something like that, depending on when you watch this video. Obviously, this is a timeless reading. So if you read it in the summer, 3 to 4 months would be 3 to 4 months from then. So those are the thoughts for the reading today. I hope you found the reading helpful. And I hope this helped you to see that regardless of the energy that people are sending your way, it doesn't mean that it has to be a complete blockage or hindrance to what you're trying to do. We may need to shift our practice a little bit to adjust or adapt to where the energies around us are, so that way we can shift our frequency and stay high vibrational. But I think that's really the key, is staying high vibrational. And along with it, like I mentioned, I was going to share with you some things to do for energy clearing. What's coming to my mind the most is just like taking a minute to center and meditate at the end of the day before bed. If you can do that for 5 to 10 minutes, or taking like a crystal bath or crystal shower, doing something that feels connective and pampering for yourself, or getting outside and grounding. These are very simple ways to tap into that energy without having to do a whole bunch. You don't have to do a ton of rituals and things to clear out your energy. It could be just as simple as, if you're a person that prays, you can pray. But doing something that feels connective to you and your higher self is super important when you are sensing that your energy is kind of like off balance, or something is attaching or in your energy field that doesn't need to be there. It's not yours. It's super important that you are mindful and aware, so that way you're not taking on energies, responding emotionally to them or reactionary to those energies, and they're not even yours. This is where the mindfulness comes in, and just checking with ourselves. That can be a great way to clear out your energy, because you'll see something is there that's not yours. And then you can take time to center in and start the process of releasing that. Okay. So a lot here about just this thought of not allowing external people, places, or things to stop us with our personal goals. And as I've mentioned before, the whole reason why somebody would jump into an energy that even allows them to send toxic energy at somebody, regardless of whether they agree with them or not, to engage in that is for the purpose of hindering and blocking you from doing what it is they're jealous about. The more you're out here feeling impassioned and connected, doing what you love, the more attention you're going to draw. There isn't a way around that. Okay? It's what we do when that energy comes our way. Do we let it shut us down? Okay, well, those oppressive energies have just won. Or do we look at that as an opportunity to level up? Almost like going through a rigorous training. That is life, yin yang. oppositional energies. That's what we do here. That's what we deal with here. We even have those oppositional energies within ourselves. But this is how we understand what feels in alignment, what doesn't. New challenges bring new skill sets and gifts. This is how we grow as beings. So instead of looking at it as a place to trip, fall, stumble, lay down, stay on the ground, look at it as an opportunity to really test your ability to keep moving, to get up and continue with your soul contracts, what you are here to do. That would be what I would say about really the message that is coming forward in the cards today. So yeah, that is the message, and I'm so grateful that you were here with me today. Once again, if you enjoyed the video, whether this resonated for you personally or for someone else, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe so that way we can get the message out to as many people as possible. I hope you're having a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you're safe, comfortable, warm, cool, whatever the temperature needs to be for you. And I definitely look forward to seeing you next time. Once again, my name is Ora-gen, and this is the Ora-gen channel. Thank you for being here with me, and I will see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.